Okay, so I thought I would show that again, and this time talk you through what I'm doing, because maybe it'll be easier than doing a voiceover. So first I am taking my overlapping circles, the Impressible. So on my gel press Impressible, I'm going to first brayer a dark color. I'm choosing Payne's Gray. It's a golden paint. It doesn't matter the brand. I love Payne's Gray, and I only have it in golden, and I do love golden paints, but I also use Liquitex and others. So I'm using my 3x5 gel plate. Like I've told you before, I like using it as a palette. So I put the paint on the 3x5, and I'm taking my brayer, getting the paint on the brayer, and then rolling over the gel press Impressible. So the paint is now on there. It's probably going to be a bit grungy because I probably rolled too much as I was talking. And then I'm going to take a card. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to take just a scrap piece of paper, which, as nice as this is turning out, it's probably going to get used for something. I'm going to lay that down so I can press and not get paint on my hands. This is so going to end up getting used for something. So now to do, okay, I won't jump ahead. So we have the circle pattern on the card. So now let's see if I remember what I did next. So I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm taking out my 5x7, and I'm applying a bit of, this is a greenish yellow, so I'm going to choose some different colors for the next one. And a little bit of quinacridone rose. See, now these are Amsterdam. I may have a bit too much paint. And then I'm going to take my Impressible and lay it down. I wonder, I may have too much paint on my plate this time. So what this is going to do, it's going to lift the paint off of the gel plate in this pattern. I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper ready as well, because like with the other one, when I take this off, I'm going to stamp it down onto this scrap piece of paper. And this is why I left the plastic on the back, because if I never plan to take it off, then it's fine. Just going to lay that down. Okay, so now I'm going to take this card and I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to take this scrap piece of paper that we put our Impressible down on. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. That is gorgeous. And then I'm going to lay this down. Again, this is just because I'm using a 4x6 card. Keep getting interrupted. My dog was barking like mad. And it's only my husband outside. So anyway, I'm putting this paper on top of it because the card is only 4x6 and there's a lot of paint around the edge. One, I'm not wasting it, and two, I can just rub all over the plate and not smush paint around. So we have that. Ooh. Not sure about this color combo. But we can go in over this. Like, there's areas that I really like, and then there's areas I'm not too sure of. It's like borderlining, not mud, but a little too close for my taste. But we can always go in with some white and cover up some areas that we don't like. I do like this one better. But you can see it's like ghosting pattern, and then we have the bold pattern from the Payne's Gray. So it just gives an interesting look. Still have a little bit of paint on there. I'm going to see if that'll come off. Nope. Oh, got a little bit. That looks so pretty. I love these together. It was just the layering of it. I'm not sure, because I have the Payne's Gray in this too. And it looks awesome. I love this. And you can even feel like, I can feel that pattern on there. That is cool. Love it. Now what? I don't know. This is still a bit wet. Oh yeah, it's very wet there. So I could think of something I could do to go in with some white. I mean, if I'm already not a huge fan of it, I'm not going to wreck it. I mean, I do like it. It's just, like I said, there's certain areas that I don't like. It's mostly like right there. And I did have too much paint on it, because you can see the pattern more in this one. You don't want to be too heavy with the paint. Okay. I'm going to let that paint dry and go make supper, and then I can play all night. Okay, so the paint has dried, and what's funny is I like it a lot more than what I did beforehand. There's still an area where the paint color is not exactly appealing, but I don't know if it's just walking away from it and coming back, or if the color has changed since it's dried, but I like it so much better. And this is the one I did before. But I still have a thought with this one. I really want to add more white. So I'm thinking, and I don't know if it'll be too much, like too busy. But I'm thinking I'm going to take this Rose Mandala Gel Press Impressables and go in with white paint. So I'm trying to figure out where. I don't want the full image. I'm thinking just a section. So if I want it there, then I want to put, it's going to be turned the other way. So I want paint put on this section. Yep. So I'm going to put some white paint on this quadrant right here. And I think that might help take care of what I'm thinking in my eyes is the ugly part. Now this one I am going a little heavier with the paint than what I would if I was just doing a regular pool. So I'm wanting this to kind of hit the corner. I'm just taking my scrap paper. Oh, bummer. I pushed too hard. That's a bit of a bummer. That was my fault. So I'm just gonna kind of take some white on my brayer. And go in like I meant it. Gringe it up a little. It's a bit of a harsh right there. I like that. It's not what I intended. But, and you can see a bit of the harsh line, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to wait for that to dry and see where I go from there. Okay, currently I am doing icad, so I'm going to turn this one into my day I'm behind. So I think it'll be day 8 for me. Should be day 10, but it's going to be day 8. So I'm taking a Derwent Graphics paint pen, and I'm just going to outline this rose mandala. If you know me, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just loosely going over the edge. I'm sorry if you're hearing it on the video, but we are getting a little bit of a storm right now, and the sub pump keeps kicking in because it is raining and it's calling for severe thunderstorms with high winds. Oh, here comes the thunder. And chance of hail. I do hope we don't get the hail. That just makes the mandala stand out a little bit more. Okay, so I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with this even more. Like, it needs something, like it doesn't feel finished. So I saw this bubble wrap off to the side. It's all painty from using it on the gel plate. And I thought I'll cut a strip off of that. And first I was going to run a strip up and down and do something with it, but I got stuck on what else to do. So I started looking around my room. I found this cool ribbon. So I played with it, put that there, and then put that on top, and I think it makes the bubble wrap just pop. Then I want a little something, so I thought maybe a quote. But this is pretty puny all by itself. So I'm going to back it with a little bit of black cardstock. I don't want to make it too big. So my husband just got back and he was saying on the way home, like, you know, I said there was a storm coming. He passed, there was 3 trees down and it took down a power line and there was wires across the road. So yeah, became fast and furious. Okay, so I took it to my sewing machine and I just sewed a little bit in the middle. And I had to pop a couple bubbles so I could put my quote there. And I did want to sew on the quote because it's so small and I didn't want to cover up the words. And I chose the words from Tim Holt's Ideology Small Talk. And I chose I Feel So Lucky because honestly I do. Like, if you've seen past video, I've been selected to be on the gel press creative team and I feel so lucky. I really do. So that is why I chose that quote. I'm going to take some of this stinky E6000 and I think mine is really old because it just comes out in one hard glob, but as long as it does its job, I'm okay with it. And I also did some stitching around the edge. And that is it. I really like how this looks. I think it goes well with the circle background and then the rose mandala. I think it all ties in nice. So now we're doing day 9, and now I'm doing a voiceover and not talking as I create. So I thought for this one I would punch out some circles and have a little somewhat peekaboo area. And I was trying to decide what I wanted to put through, put on the other side of the circles. I wanted it to be see-through but not just plain. So then I thought, well, I have this plastic that used to be on the gel plates, like before I knew that you weren't supposed to leave the plastic on. And it had all this lovely paint on them because, you know, I don't clean my gel plates. And I love the look of it. And when I took them off, I wasn't going to throw them out because I can use that, right? I mean, I'm proving it right now. So I just cut out some pieces and I'm using double-sided sticky Scotch brand, I believe, tape. And I don't know why I haven't used this before. It's so much easier than, you know, having to peel back paper and stuff like that. And it's acid-free, so it should be fine. So that is all I did for the back of the circles. As you can see, there's like a pattern and a print or whatever, but you can still see through it. And then I thought I would take the circles that I punched out and also add those to the card. So I'm just going to ink some black around the edges of the circles. But before I adhered them, I thought I would take my card to the sewing machine and draw some wonky, not draw, sew some wonky circles on my card. And then I'm just taking some foam squares to give a little bit of dimension and adding those punched out circles to the card. Now I wanted to add something more, but nothing too crazy. So I'm taking a few different punches and cutting out some circles in just white. I always find white calms things down. Even if it's adding more pattern, white just tends to calm things down and ground everything. Same with black. I wonder if you look through all my art stuff, if there would be black and white on every single thing. I'm curious. So I'm just taking some Seedless Preserves Distress Oxide ink and going around the edges of all the white punch circles and gluing them down. Easy peasy. I didn't bother cutting off the threads from sewing. It doesn't bother me to have them hanging off. Just adds a little interest. So for a final touch, I have these, I don't know, acrylic letters. They're Heidi Swap. Again, very old. And I just added them with some diamond glaze, and that is it for day 9. So thanks so much for watching my days 8 and 9, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.